rolling.
Cool, man. So, what's bringing Donald D to Amsterdam, to Europe?
Man, just to share my hip-hop knowledge with the hip-hoppers in Amsterdam. You know, my man DJ Recipe got me out here, and we just going to rock the house tonight, you know.
And that's great, man. I would like to speak about what hip-hop means to you.
Man, it means everything to me. It means the history of all the blood, sweat, and tears that people like Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, Flash and the Furious, Theodore, you know, all the early pioneers and legends who paved the way for a lot of the artists that eat great today. So that's what hip-hop is to me, just that how the culture has been lost within the media, within the corporations of America or worldwide, how we as the foundation of hip-hop really don't have control over it no more. And there's some brothers still trying to fight for our right to bring it back to where the true art form still exists. That's hip-hop to me.
So that's with the evolution that you've seen, is coming from the time span that you've seen the evolution of hip-hop. This is what's really interesting.
I seen it from the beginning as a young kid going to the parks, seeing Kool Herc and seeing Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic and all the Zulu Nation in Bronx River Center. So me seeing how it started to where it is today, it seemed like hip-hop has just got lost in the art of the rap part of making records, to where today's rap artists have no knowledge or clue on the history of their ancestors, on who created it, how it was created, where was it created. They have no clue. So, and there's so much information out there for them to grasp it. I mean, it's on the internet. You can go on YouTube and learn the history of Kool Herc or Zulu Nation. And it's a shame that today's artists are blinded by the money, the fame, or whatever it may be, that they don't take time out to learn the history of what true hip-hop is about.
Word. And how do you see the role of the Zulu Nation in this time, in these times?
I mean, in this time, Zulu Nation is still strong. It's still worldwide. It hasn't changed since day one. Bambaataa's whole thing was each one teach one to reach one. He didn't just make it a black thing and a Latino thing. He made it a every culture, every race thing, to where we have Zulu chapters all over the planet. And like I said, I wish today's generation, especially the rappers, will come and be more involved in it. You know, we have Zulu Nation anniversaries every year in New York, and you don't never see none of today's artists come and show their support of a music and a culture that helped make them millionaires. So, you know, I wish it was not such a big bridge between the old school, they may say, with today's new school. So, you know, let's get together, y'all, and bring back the true culture of hip-hop and make it our own, and stop doing all of this nonsense and listening to what corporate America's telling you what hip-hop is.
Word. So on that point, I'd like to ask you, because IBMC is all about the global, the worldwide, international aspect of hip-hop. So I would like to ask you, when did you first realize the global impact? Like that it wasn't just New York, it wasn't just the States, because now there's people rapping everywhere in every language, there's graffiti everywhere. How did that first, when did that first hit you?
Well, like I said, for us, it was like a thing that was more in the inner city of the 5 boroughs of New York. And my first knowledge of when it got global was when the movie Wild Style came out, and Africa Islam came over to Europe with the Rocksteady crew, Phase 2, Fab Five Freddy, Busy B, and then when he would come back to New York and he was telling me stories about how people in England knew all about the culture, about what we were doing in New York City. So that right there showed me that hip-hop was no longer in the 5 boroughs. It was becoming worldwide.
Yeah, this is interesting.
And then I also, my first time of witnessing it was when I came over here with the Rhyme Syndicate, when Ice-T and Hijack, Nat the Cat, and all of us guys came over, Henry G, you know, Evil Lee, and it blew my mind that our music was well known in different parts of the world. So I was like, wow, I was amazed.
Yeah, because nowadays some people don't, you already saw this international breach of hip-hop.
Right.
But nowadays a lot of people, they just know about the rappers from their country and about the US rappers. and they don't realize there's scenes everywhere and there's dope hip hop coming from everywhere.
Yes, I mean, I see it, man, because I travel all throughout Europe, so I get to politic and even collaborate with a lot of rappers or MCs in these different countries. So it's amazing that something that was so innocent in the Bronx in 1973 has become this worldwide phenomenon to where you got the B-boys, graffiti, the DJs, and MCs. So for me, I'm happy to see how hip-hop has grown from out of our community to it's worldwide. So it's lovely.
And a word about vinyl. How do you see the importance of vinyl nowadays? There's a lot of resurgence of vinyl, a lot of people bringing it back.
Well, that's good because, see, corporate America, the major record companies was the one to start shutting it down. And for me, as a youngster growing up in hip-hop, it was an honor to be going on record hunts with Bambaataa and Jazzy J and Africa Islam and Red Alert back in the days, to where when we were on tours, we had our instrumentals on vinyl, and then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, record companies started eliminating. They started putting our music on DAT tapes. So the DJ really had no say in the show, where everything was mechanical. You had to play it through tape, and all he was just push the button and scratch over it. So I looked at it that to where it went to CDJ and everything started changing. So when Serato came out, I was kind of happy that now the DJ can be a DJ again and still have the feel of the vinyl and still be able to rock the house. So I meet many peoples all over the world, and they be like, yo, when you going to put your music out on vinyl? We want vinyl, we want vinyl. And this generation of rappers or hip-hoppers don't really know the essence of what the vinyl means. Like, when you can get an album, you read it, you look at the photo, you can read the credits, who produced the song, who wrote the song. For me, I'm like, if you download an MP3, how do you really inhale the essence of what went into the creation of that song? You don't see that vision because it's just a file. So I'm glad that the hip hop is starting to bring, the vinyl back. A lot of people are bringing it back. And I just did a project with my man MCB, who lives in Germany, and the project that we did, they printed out on vinyl, so it's good. And then my boy Red Venom in Manchester gonna have his album that I did a song with Craig G on it. It's gonna be on vinyl, so it's good that a lot of these people still want the vinyl.
You seem to have a pretty strong opinion about corporate America.
Yeah, because
how do you think can reach the new kids, the new generation, and get the message across? Because many people seem to be lost in the
freestyle.
Yeah.
Well, for me, because corporate America took something that they didn't want no part of when we first was doing rap songs or hip hop in the parks, to where they felt that they could make millions off it, and they took control over it. And for me, it's a sad situation when you get like a rapper, like, to me, the greatest of all time, Melly Mel, gotta really get permission for some corporation or some record company to make his music be heard, and it's a sad situation. So we all gotta fight for our right to keep doing what we're doing, and it's hard to digest when right now we have some kids in college who are gonna be these music execs one day, coming out of college telling us what is hip-hop, dictating to us this is what hip-hop is. And then they got every rapper programmed to do the same old song, to rap the same way, when in our era you could tell the difference from Akumo D to Rakim to the Treacherous Three to Bambaataa to De La Soul to Tribe Called Quest. None of us sound the same, none of our music sound the same, so you had different divisions within the music to do it, and record companies and corporate America was willing to take that chance. They wasn't scared to put out what we felt we wanted to do from the heart. Now it's like you rappers kind of come straight up to make mainstream kind of songs, and I think they watered down the lyrics to where a rapper like Rakim would be too complicated for the audience today. So let's bring back the real, for real.
So that's the message to the people, yeah?
Wake up. Let's get it straight. They need to wake up, and, also the rap audience need to be loyal. It's like we don't have loyalty within the rap game no more, or it could be within any of the 5 elements of hip hop. You know, they just got to stay loyal to artists or to the culture and not be so quick to change with the artists, because see, we are artists, and when you do a song, like say I made songs from 1983, I cannot be the same artist when I wrote as a person in 1983 and write the same kind of things in 2013. So the audience got to be able to also grow with the artist. But in today's music, it seems like the major corporations don't want an artist to grow. And if you have a hit record out the bat and you can't duplicate that, they're going to kick you out the door and bring in the next artist to do that. So they don't care about that this is something that you love, it's your art, it's something you're doing from the heart. So, you know, they got to be able to let the artist grow, you know. And I think in hip-hop music is the only form of music where they treat us like that. Or they even treat, look at the pioneers and legends, to where the culture is basically invisible to a lot of this generation, because the people that's in charge refuse to let it grow. You don't see MTV promoting these artists, but in any other form of music, the rock legends live on forever. The jazz musicians live on forever. And you ask a kid today, yo, do you know Melly Mel? They have no clue. Do you know who created hip-hop? Kool Herc? They be like, who? Some people, like, I teach hip-hop history throughout Europe in high schools, youth centers, and universities, and I teach them from the beginning of hip-hop. And most of these kids, when I say, what is old school to you? They're right off the bat. Well, Eminem, 50 Cent. How many of y'all know Kool Herc? They have no clue. So, you know, I'm one of the few just trying to educate the youth on what's the hip-hop truth.
True. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Keep teaching.
Trying to hold it down.
That's
It's a never-ending struggle for me and a lot of my comrades from the old school and the golden era.
Great. So yeah, we'd really like to stay connected, because we're starting to set up the IBMCs. We want to set it up like a foundation.
Okay.
Because I would like to set it up like a foundation for the preservation of hip-hop culture.
There it is.
Our big focus is the collection, the archive. So
Okay.
we have hip-hop records from all over the world, all kind of languages. We connect with all kind of artists, and we're doing a project, 50 Nations of Hip-Hop, where we bring out 50 different countries, and we have interviews like this one will be in there for the States.
Oh, that's what I'm
There'll
talking
be
about.
the interview right next to the DJ Premier interview, right next to all the other ones.
Right.
And we have the shout-outs, we have the reviews, and this shows people the interconnectedness of the whole culture. Because we've seen many projects where they show like 10 countries, or they say European countries. We want to show 50 countries and show that it's not just one artist there, but it's just the tip of the iceberg that we show you. And then when that comes out, hopefully on the internet format, we want to do like a movie and go like documentary style, go across the
Yeah,
world.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's the idea.
Well, I'm down. I'm down for the support. I'm down to do whatever y'all need me to be involved in. I'm here.
That's cool, man. Could we get a shout out from you from the project?
All right, what am I shouting out?
Doe ik even overnieuw.
Yeah, you do a read. He does a